Injuries from Galoub's sky dancers reportedly included scratched corneas and temporary blindness, mild concussions, broken ribs and teeth, and facial lacerations that required stitches. Nearly 9 million sky dancers were eventually recalled by 2000, and the company was fined $400,000. After 35 fingers and ponytails fell victim to snack time kids' appetites, Mattel removed them from the shelves forever and offered 500,000 customers a full $40 refund. Between 1984 and 1995, 12 children between the ages of 5 and 17 years old became entangled and died while using the mini hammocks. One 7-year-old girl suffered permanent brain damage from a near strangulation. A mother found her 5-year-old boy entangled but was able to resuscitate him. As a result, 3 million of the devices were recalled. I won't even hazard to speculate about the impact of the Atomic Energy Lab. After deciding that voluntary agreements on stricter labeling and marketing were not having the desired effect, in 1987 the Consumer Product Safety Commission voted to ban lawn darts. The Commission had records of 3 deaths associated with lawn darts since 1970. Lawn darts were linked with an estimated 700 emergency room visits each year. Commissioner Chair Ann Brown went so far as to recommend that parents should destroy these banned lawn darts immediately. Commissioner Ann Graham added, "What limited recreational value lawn darts may have is far outweighed by the number of serious injuries and unnecessary deaths. There are numerous alternatives to lawn darts, and I would urge adults who have lawn darts to throw them away now." Created in 1972, sadly too late for some of our older examples, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is a federal agency charged with protecting the public from unreasonable risks of serious injury or death from thousands of types of consumer products under the agency's jurisdiction. The Commission's work to ensure the safety of consumer products is believed to have contributed to the 30% decline in the rate of deaths and injuries linked to such products. Now, the Commission has jurisdiction over more than 15,000 kinds of consumer products used in and around the home, in sports, recreation, and schools. But the Commission does not claim jurisdiction over all categories of products. For example, food, drugs, cosmetics, and medical devices fall under the purview of the Food and Drug Administration. Automobiles, trucks, motorcycles, and tires are the responsibility of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Pesticides are included as part of the sphere of activity of the Environmental Protection Agency, and boats lie under the authority of the U.S. Coast Guard. But let's move away from kids stuff, literally, and jump to the big 3. Alcohol and tobacco are regulated by the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, whose primary function is to, quote, ensure that only qualified persons engage in the alcohol beverage industry and enforcing the laws relating to tobacco products advertising. And firearms fall under the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. The BATF mission statement describes it as a law enforcement agency that protects our communities from violent criminals, criminal organizations, the illegal use and trafficking of firearms, the illegal use and storage of explosives, acts of arson and bombings, acts of terrorism, and the illegal diversion of alcohol and tobacco products. Now, you may note a subtle distinction between the roles of these various entities. The Consumer Product Safety Commission regulates the distribution and the design and manufacture of consumer products. The Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau and the BATF, on the other hand, only regulate the distribution of the products within their sphere of operation, as well as the improper use of them by consumers. So while the government empowers the Consumer Product Safety Commission to prevent companies from producing a dangerous product, the other agencies can only penalize those who abuse the laws regarding the sale, distribution, and use of alcohol, tobacco, and firearms once they've already been manufactured. One agency recaptures the cow after leaving the barn. The other keeps the calf from being born at all. Now, I'm sure that critiquing the operations or the relative success of any of these important government bodies provides ample employment to various watchdog groups and analysts. Given their particular notoriety, one could certainly spend significant time examining the merits, or possibly lack thereof, of certain historic BATF actions. Instead, I offer a suggestion that will simplify the work of every BATF agent by removing any ambiguities from their mission to protect this nation's communities. I call for a total ban on privately owned handguns and for the confiscation and destruction of all such weapons in existence. I call for the elimination of all private ownership of handguns in this country and a ban on the production of handguns for the use of anyone but authorized law enforcement agents forever. I understand that efforts to control handguns in this country have met with one failure after another. Since the shooting of James Brady in 1981 during John Hinckley's attempted assassination of then-President Ronald Reagan, gun control advocates have run into one roadblock after another, largely due to the furious lobbying efforts of the National Rifle Association. But I'm not calling for gun control. I do not advocate for expanded background checks or increased regulations on vendors. I don't care what the founders wrote 200 years ago or how even the most impartial jurist might interpret their meanings today. The time is long overdue for us as a nation to completely and forever cut our ties with all handguns as being inimical to human life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, I suspect that even the most peace-loving among you might contemplate certain questions that arise from this call.